What's going on YouTube? JT Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman issue number 138, written by Chip Zdarsky with art by Jorge Jimenez. I'm sorry, Jorge, your art is great. I mean, that's the best thing about this comic book. And then in terms of everything else, if you're a Bat Family fan, this is not a book for, anyone. I mean, everyone is written poorly. I know I stated, while I've been covering this whole event, that Damian was the only, character written with any sense of competency. That's kind of thrown out the window, too, in this thing. So, literally, every Bat Family member is written to be stupid. Batman is written to be a complete sociopath. He's obviously getting taken over by the Zur-En-Arrh thing, but it's, being done in a way that it feels like we're making Batman look worse, so, Catwoman stuff doesn't seem as bad what she's doing. I mean, it's still bad what she's doing, but this is just a stupid event. And also, how does this fit in the context of Batman and Robin? I feel like Bruce and Damian, what happens in this issue does not mesh well with anything that's going on in that book, which is apparently set during, the midst of Gotham War. I don't exactly, 100% know. This is just not a good comic book, at all, aside from Jorge's artwork. And I can never hate on Jorge's artwork. It's always pretty good. So, also, Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong coming out this month. I'm excited to talk about that comic book when it drops. But anyways, so we know that Vandal Savage has taken over Wayne Manor. He bought it from the bank. Why other members of the Bat family weren't around to kind of stop this contingency thing from happening is beyond me, or perhaps one of them was involved or some sort of reason or whatever. But we got that nonsense going on. There is a Ra's al Ghul cameo, but this looks to be set a little bit in the past. And if you want to see naked Ra's al Ghul, there you go. But also, in the last issue or whatever it was, not the Jason Todd, Red Hood storyline in Gotham War, that feels really disconnected from the main stuff too. I don't know what the deal is with this event. It feels kind of all over the place in terms of continuity. Batman had kidnapped Jason, and then he hit him with some sort of fear toxin so that whenever Jason tries to his adrenaline peaks, he gets really terrified. So yeah, Batman is a complete psycho in a lot of this stuff, but at the same time the Bat family is really stupid because they're just letting criminals continue to do their things. And also Zur-En-Arrh is trying to take over. Zur-En-Arrh is just a dumb idea in general. I never liked the whole Zur-En-Arrh angle, never been a fan of it. We've also had too much Batman getting mind controlled, possessed, I think, within the past year. I mean, we had Neza, we had Barbados, we had the Arzans or whatever. And then you had Deadman kind of take over his body. We had the Night Terror stuff where his mind was it's been we've had enough of it this past year. And then the Zur-En-Arrh thing, I don't like the Zur-En-Arrh angle. But anyway, so yeah, he apparently did this to Jason to protect him from further acting out. He's you've killed people. I'm saving you from your actions. So yeah, in a way he's kind of stopping that way, but he's kind of going a little bit crazy. But then anyways, so Dick's all right, we got to put a stop to Batman for good because he's out of line, which yeah, in a sense, Batman is kind of crazy. But at the same time, the fact that they're siding along with Selina in a lot of this nonsense, it just goes to show that, they're out of line too. They're really stupid. So Dick's about to shut down Batman with this thing. Damian shows up, and I feel like Zdarsky and that did not read Robin, because Damian's writing just does not mesh with all his development that's going on with Williamson. It feels like he's written his older self in a way, he's never grown or never even had a minute to kind of have a conversation with Dick Grayson. Damian wouldn't just attack Dick outright like this. He'd actually try to talk to him for a minute before going on with this thing. But anyways, so yeah, Dick's he's out of line and all that. And yeah, Batman is kind of going a little bit cuckoo crazy in some regards, but he's still stopping criminals, and the Bat family is also some of the ones acting like complete morons. So yeah, Damian's a little bit goes in for the attack right away. He even gets a slice right to Dick Grayson's face, and it feels like I said DC has kind of thrown that dynamic duo out the window. Like I said, Williamson feels like the only one worthy of writing Damian in current DC Comics at this point, because I feel like other writers just completely forget what was going on in the Robin book with the way Damian's written. But also, Dick's written to be a moron too. He's got more angst in this time. Tim is here doing his thing. There's some dumb stuff with them. Selina's got her stuff. She's gonna go talk to Bruce or whatever. And Batman shows up, and he gets into a fight with Dick Grayson about this whole situation. He kicks the crap out of him, and in some ways it's kind of warranted because Dick's being written to be a moron, Barbara's being written to be a moron. Everyone's just really stupid. Why can't they just stop and be okay, Selina's thing is obviously gonna backfire, But no, it's like, even when Dick kind of fights him at one point, so he's like, I won't let you do this. Like, you're going to destroy the peace Selina made. Wait a second. So you're just completely siding with her on this situation. You're just going to let criminals continue to act like irrational and like train these people. Like I said, Dick's written to be a moron. Tim and Damian get into a fight. Damian's like, this is futile, Drake. You know, you're not better than me. So Tim kind of cheats in a way. He electrocutes Damian and handcuffs him to something. And then, of course, to get into this fight right here, Dick shows up. He gets mad. He's like, oh, you did what to Jason? You mind controlled him or whatever it is. He's like violently punching him and all that. Then Batman just kind of leaves them all like as is. And then Damian's like, Father, he left me. And then we have this really kind of unearned hug between Tim and Damian, if you will. It doesn't feel like organic at all. It just feels like really kind of dumb. Like, this moment it does not feel right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just does not feel earned, this hug between the two characters, especially after what was going on, and, you know, Tim being a moron and Dick being a moron and Damian just written like he hasn't matured in any sort of way whatsoever. Where's Cassandra Cain during all this? Maybe she's off just in the Birds of Prey stuff at this point. I don't exactly know. But then Scandal Savage comes and like she talks to Jason Todd and she finds him pretty worthy of becoming an immortal, because that's what Vandal Savage is trying to do while all this is going on. He wants to become immortal, so he's looking for these stones to kind of regain that like immortality power that he's had years ago, because like his lifespan is starting to fade after like thousands upon thousands of years. But Jason's a little bit too scared, and so she just kind of up and leaves him right there. Then Selina goes to confront Bruce, and Zur-Naz kind of taking over mostly. And also in the wake of Ra's al Ghul's like death or whatever, like one of the pieces is there, and that's one of the reasons he's in Gotham, and they're going to take over and do a bunch of other nonsense, if you will. Like, I don't know, like the Vandal Savage stuff, like between that and Gotham War and all the other criminal stuff going on in the background, it feels a little bit too much is going on here. The whole storyline of Gotham War, it just doesn't work. Like, the only way that this storyline is even possible is with the Bat family just completely written like everyone has to be really stupid for this storyline to kind of work in a way. And as I stated before, like in a couple issues ago, Damian was written to be the only like logical character. Now they're writing him just completely fueled by rage, not even having like a moment to talk with Dick before he kind of does some of the stuff. He just goes right into fight as if he's not matured or thought things through at all. Dick is written to be a moron. Tim is as well. Just letting criminals continue to do their things. There's like some lines where I just didn't like at all, where Tim is just talking about, he's like, you're always trying to fight him, Damian, and I'm always trying to save him, like in terms of his dad. Like, didn't Damian just go to the ends of the earth to save his father and like Batman versus Robin after Damian like broke free from his like mind control possession? Didn't we just see that happen? Like, what about Night Terrors where Damian was trying to help his dad? Like, did that not happen at all as well? Like, I'm just, it feels like nobody's really following along some of the other storylines. Like, everyone has to be stupid in order for this storyline to kind of exist. The only real redeeming quality of this thing for me is Jorge Jimenez's artwork, and yeah, it looks great. And in some other comic books, some of these emotional moments may work, like a hug between Tim and Damian like that. It just did not feel earned in this particular storyline. It feels off and it feels out of place. Dick Grayson's like, I'm not going to let you ruin the piece that Selina made with this whole thing. I'm going to continue to let people steal. Like, you know, what's the moral of the story? Like, hey, it's okay to steal, like, as long as it's only rich people. I don't know. That doesn't feel right with me. These are supposed to be superheroes. They're supposed to stop crime. Like, well, that's not a good solution at all. She's training them to become better criminals, and it's going to come back to, guess what? Bite her in the ass. It doesn't work. It legitimately doesn't work from any standpoint. Everyone's written to be a moron, so like nobody wins in this thing. And Vandal Savage is off doing his thing. Nobody was apparently paying attention to Wayne Manor, like as he bought it from the bank or whatever. It just, unless somebody else is on the sidelines doing things or whatnot to kind of allow it to happen. But yeah, I'm not enjoying this thing. Out of the three main Batman books, the main Batman book by Zdarsky right now with Gotham War and all that is the worst that's going on. Detective Comics is better than this one. Batman and Robin only having one issue so far is a lot better than this thing, although it does feel really disjointed and out of place given like the timing of it. How does it coexist with Gotham War with the way Bruce is acting there and is here? I don't exactly know. I genuinely don't think this is a very good comic book. I think it's a disservice to all the Bat Family characters involved. Cass is lucky to kind of be out of this issue. And also, like I said, even with some of the other issues in this whole Gotham War event, like the Red Hood thing, that felt really disconnected and kind of out of place with what's going on in the two, like the Zdarsky and Teenie Howard stuff. Like, it doesn't mesh well at all. This is where editorial has to come in and be like, hey, let's try to make this a little bit more linear. Or maybe some of the other writers are just like, oh, this is really stupid. Let's just kind of write things like our way. Because like that's kind of the vibe I got with the Red Hood one, where even he was just like, Selena, your plan's stupid. Like he kind of basically said that in the last issue of this whole little event thing. So it felt like Matthew Rosenberg was like, I gotta try and like, I can't justify this storyline. And then Williamson just seems to be kind of like, he'll acknowledge it exists, but he's kind of off doing his own thing and writing Bruce and Damian a lot better than, you know, the way they're kind of written in here. So yeah, I think this comic book was not very good. Like I said, I don't know who this is supposed to please. Like, Batman fans? No, because he's written to be a bit of a sociopath in a way, completely unhinged in some ways, but in some ways he's kind of in the right because the Bat Family's acting like morons. Catwoman fans? No, I can't see how it could please Catwoman fans. Damian fans? No, like, I mean, not only does, like, he get electrocuted by Tim Drake, but, like, despite being the better fighter, like, he just kind of gets handcuffed and all that, and his dad just up and leaves him right here, so I'm not sure how that's supposed to mesh well with Batman and Robin, where they were completely on the same page. Dick Grayson fans? No, he's also, like, acting like a moron, like, siding with Selena Kyle and a lot of this stuff. Barbara Gordon fans? Nope, don't see that. She's letting criminals continue to act the way they do, despite her dad being a cop and all that too. Yeah, like that makes total sense. Tim Drake fans? Well, who am I kidding? Tim Drake fans are never pleased. Cassandra Campbell, she's lucky she's out of this issue, but like the fact that she immediately went inside with the other Bat Family members instead of with Batman. Like, if you're going to have this whole Civil War thing, at least have more people, like, alongside with Damian. Like, at least if you could have had Damian and Cass on the same side with this whole situation. Stephanie Brown? Hell no. Jason Todd? My God, like, what are they doing with him right now? It's, like, all over the place and not that great. So, yeah, nobody wins in this comic book. Nobody wins. The reader doesn't win. The characters don't win. And you know, another thing that kind of irks me too is these are supposed to be some very smart, intelligent characters, like smarter than me. And when I can see like the ridiculousness in this logic, despite these characters supposed to be like really super smart and able to do all these crazy things, like that goes to show you it's just not working. I mean, they're supposed to be smarter than like me. You know what I mean? Like, this is Batman. This is like Tim Drake. He's supposed to be a tech genius and all this stuff, but I guess he lacks common sense. So, and you know, the other Bat Family members too. I don't know. I don't think this storyline is good for anyone. Not really enjoying Gotham War. I think it's a big, like, little stinky storyline that, like, just does not work. I guess the stuff with Vandal Savage is okay on the sides, but, like, at the forefront of this conflict with them, it's not working for me. The emotional beats that they try to, like, have, not really working. If you're a Batman fan, it's just kind of like humiliating to have to read to see this character like do this stuff again. Bat Family fighting again, which we just have had like numerous times already. Like, we can't have a moment. There can't be an extended period of time where it's kind of at peace. It's always got to be someone fighting on something. At least Kate and Duke are kind of out of this whole conflict. They're off doing their own thing somewhere. So they're like, screw this. We're not going to be anywhere involved with this stuff. So yeah, and also I think this takes place before the Detective Comics stuff, so things are going to wrap up nicely, I suppose. But yeah, this isn't something I'm a real huge fan of. I don't think it's really delivered, and it's more than anything, I feel like a disservice to these iconic characters. So, but anyways, that's just me. What do you think of this comic book? Let me know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all that other fun stuff. That's pretty much it for me in terms of DC comic book reviews today. Yeah, I just had this one, but I want to kind of really like read it again and just to see if I'm going crazy or whatnot, or if it's just a story. But it's more so feels like it's just a story at this point. Maybe I am going a little mad, just in some regards. But hey, it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on it, let me know in the comment section down below. All the other fun stuff. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm going to try and get some other videos out this week. Not exactly sure what, though. Probably some after the movies, if I can. And then we'll see where we go from there. So anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.